This is the Double Edge Factor, where high performance meets peace of mind and faith meets focus. I'm your host, Rob Manuel, and peace and blessings unto you. Before we get going, be sure to like, follow, and hit that subscribe button, because the more positive interactions you put out there, the more they push this podcast to people who've never heard it before, which, of course, will allow us to grow, reach new ears, and have a greater impact on more people around the world. And if you want 2026 to be your year where you perform and live at your highest level, head on over to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com. Join that email list and remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Let me speak directly to the young men for a minute. You're growing up in a world that rewards attention, not character. Volume, not substance. Reactions, not discipline. Nobody's really teaching etiquette anymore. Not because it doesn't matter, but because standards feel uncomfortable in a culture that hates accountability. Here's the truth. Etiquette isn't about acting grown. It's about acting grounded. It's about how you separate yourself from a world without saying a word. It's how opportunities find you before you're fully qualified. And it's about how people decide whether they can trust you or not. And trust, my friends, that's a currency. If you want respect, influence, leadership, and real confidence, etiquette is not optional. I'm sure you're saying, why does etiquette even matter? Well, people judge fast. Fair or not, they do. Your behavior speaks long before your resume, talent, or potential ever does. Also, etiquette builds confidence. When you know how to move, speak, listen, and respond, you don't have to fake that confidence. And lastly, etiquette creates opportunity. Doors open for men who are respectful, disciplined, and self-aware, even while they're still learning. And you see, this isn't old school, this is timeless. So, today I want to share the 5 pillars of etiquette. These pillars aren't about impressing people. They're about becoming someone people can trust. Number 1, respect. Respect is how you treat people who don't owe you anything. Teachers, parents, coworkers, strangers, people online. You see, disrespect doesn't make you tough. It actually makes you predictable. Number 2, awareness. Awareness is knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet. Reading the room, understanding timing, not needing to be the loudest voice. Awareness keeps you from embarrassing yourself, and it also keeps you from burning bridges. Number 3, discipline. Discipline is how you act when nobody's watching. Showing up on time, keeping your word, doing the small things. Your talent opens doors, but discipline keeps them open. Number 4, accountability. Real men own their mistakes. No excuses, no blaming, no defensiveness. They apologize when needed. They correct themselves fast. And this will allow you to move forward even stronger. And finally, number 5, service. And this is the one that no one really talks about. Strong men look out for others. They help without being asked. They protect dignity, not ego. And you see, service builds leadership without even trying to lead. Today's show is brought to you by Polished Custom Builders, where they specialize in building your dream into a reality through custom home building, renovations, and interior design. Check them out at polishedcustombuilders.com, where the most beautiful house in the world is the one that you build yourself. How do we apply this in the real world? Think about at school or college. Your behavior matters just as much as your grades. At work, etiquette. Etiquette often it gets you promoted before your skills do. Think about online. How you communicate digitally still reflects your character. What about relationships? Respect creates trust, and that trust creates connection. What about in public? You're always representing something or somebody, whether you realize it or not. I want you to ask yourself, which pillar do I struggle with the most? Where do I react instead of respond? Um, Here's the thing, personal growth, it starts with awareness. So here's my challenge to you. For the next week, pick one pillar, practice it intentionally. Watch how people respond differently when you practice it. You don't need to change everything. You just got to raise those standards. So until next time, move with intention, carry yourself with respect, and let your actions speak. That is it for today. If this episode added value, clarity, or even one push you needed, share it. Share it with just one man who needs that type of direction. The only way we grow this podcast is when you share it. The more you share, the greater impact we have on more people around the world. And if you want 2026 to be the year you perform and live at your highest level, head on over to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com, where you will find resources, coaching tools, and more to help you live, lead, and perform at the highest level. You can also order a copy of my latest book, Faith on Demand, which is also available on Amazon, as well as other exclusive content. And as I always say, be intentional with your words, be intentional with your thoughts, and be intentional with your actions. And always find a way to be a blessing to someone else today.